Good morning. Can you hear me? Oh, yes, you can hear me. Oh, good. Good morning. Welcome all to the love and light that is Unity of Lawrence. Welcome to this beautiful, beautiful March Sunday. So grateful to see you all here. As you know, in Unity, we begin everything with prayer. Let's take a centering breath and open to the divine in all of us and listen to this prayer. On this day, we dedicate our hearts to peace on earth. We appreciate everyone's spiritual journey and the abundance. In unity with all who seek to express freedom, joy, and transformation, we welcome our divine inheritance as creators. In harmony with this truth, we live to the best of our ability with a peaceful mind, a peaceful heart, and a peaceful spirit, and so it is. Amen. Our prayer chaplains are trained to hold sacred space and pray with you one-on-one. If there's anything in your heart to be held in prayer, we invite you to see Holly after today's service at the front of the sanctuary. Our chaplains will also pray for you during the week. Fill out a prayer request and slip it in the wooden box outside the office. Chaplains can also visit in times of need. Please let the office know and remember that all prayers are confidential. And now, please stand as you're able and let's join Holly in singing the Healing Song.
As we sing this song, really feel these states of being in our bodies today. Joy fills every cell of my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. Peace fills every cell of my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. Hope fills every cell of my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. And let's say hello to our neighbors this morning. cell of my body, every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow Spirit to do what it does. Joy fills every cell of my body, every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow Spirit to do what it does. We're really celebrating life today. It's beautiful. We're going to sing this last verse. Life fills every cell of my body. Here we go. Life fills every cell of my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow Spirit to do what it does. I allow Spirit to do what it does.
Thank you, Holly. Thank you, Holly. And pardon me, but I forgot to welcome those on Zoom and Facebook. Never want to leave you out. We're grateful that you're here and grateful that you're following us. And now it's time for our unity intentions. Please affirm with me unity's founding principle together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the source of all good. And now our Unity of Lawrence vision statement together. United in divine love and joy, we celebrate a peaceful and abundant world for all. And finally, our Unity of Lawrence mission statement together. We are a thriving spiritual community, sharing love, building bridges, and inspiring transformation. Yes. Our guest speaker and musician this morning is Greg Tamblyn, NCW. No credentials whatsoever. Greg Tamblyn combines a lifetime of interest in consciousness and wellness with an irreverent sense of humor. His songs and stories range from deeply spiritual to irreverently funny, including the shootout at I'm Okay, You're Okay Corral, and Jesus Was a Bachelor. Many of Greg's songs have won awards, including a recent Lifetime Achievement Award at Posey Music Awards, the Grammys of positive music. We'll get to hear some of these award-winning songs in his talk and also later at his comedy concert this afternoon. Greg performs internationally for a wide variety of groups interested in wellness, and once a year leads small tours of positive spiritual people to fun, exotic destinations. He has written and recorded 7 CDs, plus a book of true stories that open the heart and tickle the funny bone. They are all available here today at his table at the back of the sanctuary. His ongoing mission in life is saving the world from whiny victim love songs. Please welcome Greg Tamblyn.
Thank you, John. Good morning, everybody. I learned a long time ago I could tell how much fun I was going to have at a church by how long the hugging went on. I feel great about this morning. Really. And I just have to thank everybody for making me feel so welcome. So many friends and old acquaintances, so many nice comments. And the staff here, the staff and the volunteers are exceptional. Thank you. Yep. And this amazing musician, Holly Taylor, you know how good Holly is. Yeah. So I want to share some thoughts about the sacred and the silly this morning as pathways to the joy of now, of this moment. You know, saints and psychologists and mystics and prophets have all told us that happiness lies in the now, and we tend to forget that, especially here in the busy West. So that's where I kind of want to go. Now, to get into this, what I'd like to do is go back 800 years, ancient Persia, Sufi mystic poets that were writing then. Most of us are familiar with Rumi, right? How many of us are familiar with his contemporary Hafez? So just a few. So if you're not familiar with Hafez, I really encourage you to get a book of Hafez poems because like Rumi, he's deep, he's beautiful, he's profound, but also frequently whimsical, which I love. And 800 years ago, Hafez said this: "What is the difference between your experience of existence and that of a saint? The saint knows that the spiritual pathway is a sublime chess game with God, and that the beloved has just made such a fantastic move that the saint is now tripping over joy, bursting out in laughter and saying, 'I surrender.' Whereas, my dear, I'm afraid you still think you have 1,000 serious moves." It's good, isn't it? Yeah, I can relate to this really well. About 30 years ago, life got serious for me overnight. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, I was in trouble. And I'm not going to go into it, it's a long story, but it was a low point. Anybody had a low point? What'd you say? You lived there? No. If you've been down there far enough, you know how it jumpstarts your motivation. I was looking at my life, trying to figure out what happened, how I got to be the way that I was, and come up with an excuse. So this is what I figured out. This is called Just a Little Soul Hanging Out in Space. Just a little soul hanging out in space, getting ready to come to the human race. And God came over and he said to me, "Well, kid, what you want to be? It's time for you to go get a life. But you don't have to have no struggle or strife. You can live a life of comfort and ease, worldly pleasures, do as you please. I can give you parents with lots of money, Southern California, bright and sunny, tall and handsome, a movie star, fancy parties, expensive cars, or maybe an athlete with rhythm and grace. You could do the Olympics, win every race, confidence just oozing from you, and the women, they're gonna love you. Or maybe you'd like to help those in low places, like a Peace Corps worker or Mother Teresa. But you know, when it's all said and done, being the Pope is a lot more fun. Or how about a yogi with magical powers? You could levitate for hours and hours and teach everybody to walk on hot coals, sell books and t-shirts by the truckloads. But what do you say, kid? You make the call. You can have any party, you can have it all. You just tell me what you want to be, and I'll give it to you. It's my guarantee, yeah. Well, I just stood there with my mouth open because, you know, that's just what I'd been hoping. But while I was deciding to choose which one, I thought, well, maybe I'll just have me some fun. Because me and God, see, we're pretty tight. And I know God likes a good joke, all right? So I figure I'll pull his leg for a while and see if I can't make the old boy smile. So I say, Father, oh mine, you know, all that glory, tell you the truth, sounds kind of boring. I want a life with some challenge to it. You know, something I gotta work to get through it. I don't want fame and easy success. I want to be shamed and easily depressed. With various physical and mental afflictions. You might as well throw in multiple addictions. I don't need life to be a sweet dream. I want writer's block and low self-esteem. sensitive skin and food allergies. And when I get around girls, make me sneeze. Make me wish that I had more height. Give me claustrophobia, stage fright, prone to worry, riddled with doubt, thinking I'll never figure life out. Yeah, that's it, God. That's what I want to have. And then I just shut up so he could laugh. Well, God looked at me with a puzzled brow, shook his head and just said, "Holy cow." For a minute he stood there pulling his beard, and then he said, "Kid, you're pretty darn weird. And I know you're just playing the fool, but this time, kid, the joke's on you." And then he grinned at me and he yelled, "Shazam!" And that's my story, and here I am. Glad you could relate. Will Rogers said, if you find yourself in a hole, first thing is, stop digging. That's true. We have to have some consciousness, some awareness around what we think about all the time, because it does tend to show up. The good news about that is if we own that, if we take responsibility for our lives, then there's power there, there's hope there. Because if I'm the problem in my life, I'm also what? A problem in everyone else's life. There's a great little place in the Gospel of Thomas that says, if you bring forth that which is inside you, it will save you. I love that. That's a power thought. I love that thought. Let me ask you this. How many of you have heard of a painter, an artist named Donald Roller Wilson? One. Okay. Yeah, me neither, actually. But I read about him on the Airline magazine. You know, they still make those. And Donald Roller Wilson has this amazing niche. All he paints, and you can bring that up, Avery, is it up? All he paints are these gothic, realistic, highly detailed paintings of animals, dogs, cats, chimps, dressed up in clothes, doing bizarre things. I think this is just a portion of a much bigger painting, but you can see how fun they are. And he sells these for amazing amounts of money. They're not cheap. He's got a huge following, A-list celebrities among others. So, you know, he's doing great. The reason I cut this out and saved it was because of a quote that he had in this article. And it goes like this. You can take all start over. It takes all the arrogance out of everything you do when you know that God is so much bigger than you are. And yet, everything you are and do and see is filled with God. The trees, the asphalt, the people fighting over Aquanet at Walmart. That sounds silly, but silliness is just as important as love, just as important as tragedy. You can make a profound statement just by basing your efforts on silliness. End quote. Well, I agree completely. That's probably enough, Avery. Thanks. You've probably seen this Robin Williams movie, Patch Adams, about 20 years old. Most of us have seen it. Anybody besides me had a chance to experience the real Patch Adams, either online or physically? Just a couple of us. So physically, the real Patch, who's still going strong, is not like Robin Williams. He's tall, he's 6'7", kind of a beanpole body type, and long gray hair down to mid-thigh, usually half dyed blue or purple. Dresses like a clown. Medical doctor who dresses like a clown all day, every day. He's a clown doctor. Patch has figured out that playfulness and silliness are the ways he can inflict love and compassion on the world, on the people he meets every day. So he's become a clown doctor. And the wave that he's created, I mean, the movie is really the tip of the iceberg. The wave that he's created rippling around the world in healthcare and wellness settings is really something. And this is one person being silly in a profound way. So it's possible. It's doable. Well, I've been around, he's almost finished building the first silly hospital in the world. It's called the Gesundheit Institute. It's in West Virginia. You can look it up. You can go there. You can volunteer there. So I've been around Patch quite a bit, mutual friends, various conferences, and I've heard him talk many times. And one of the things I've heard him say a couple of times is he feels like the world is wallowing in misery. And then one of the most radical things you can do is to have a good day. And show it. Well, that's not radical to us in Unity. I mean, we teach this. But let me ask you this. We all know life is serious. If we forget that life is serious, we can turn on the TV news for a couple of minutes and get reminded how serious life is. But is there anybody here besides me who's ever had the ability or talent or gift to make life even more serious than it already is? Right. See, I don't know about you, but I can overreact in seconds. I can forget everything and revert. So I wrote a song about this for myself. And you can see if this helps you, relates to you in any way. This is called Writer's Block, or the long-term positive and negative effects of worry. I was worried about not writing any songs. No words, no tunes, nothing for way too long. I was worried I'd never write again. Maybe there was no more ink in my pen. And I thought about that, and I began to feel ashamed. I was ashamed that I'd been worried about not writing. I'd been through droughts before and come out fighting. Seemed like my worry was out of control, and I was ashamed about it down to my soul. And then it hit me what I was doing, and I started feeling guilty. I was guilty that I could let myself feel shame over something so insignificant as this writing game. I thought I'd released that stuff long ago, and I felt guilty that I had such a long way to go. And then I realized what I was doing, and I got embarrassed. I was embarrassed that my shame could make me feel guilty. All these negative thought patterns, man, it was silly. If someone could see inside my head, they'd give me a drug and put me to bed. Yeah, I was embarrassed, and that made me mad. I was angry that I could be so immature. I was angry at me, down on myself for sure. And as my anger turned into resentment, I thought about what the long-term effects of that meant, and I realized what I was doing to my body, and I began to feel afraid. I was afraid of what I was doing to myself. All these negative emotions affecting my health. If body and mind are so interconnected, my shame, guilt, worry, and fear were making me infected. And I was afraid that I was becoming depressed. And as I began to sink into depression, the effect on my body and mind became an obsession. The outcome of this could not be in doubt, and that gave me something new to worry about. knew that I might not be around for too long, so I wrote it all down and I had a new song. When I thought about that, I was fine again. Thank you, thank you. Pretty silly. Pretty silly, but there's great joy in that. See, there's great joy in taking something restrictive and limiting and troublesome and turning it inside out, upside down. So there's not such a big charge there. Reframing with humor. Both of those songs were about reframing difficult situations with humor so that now they're not such a big deal anymore. Now I have control over them. They don't control me. It's really powerful. It's a good thing to practice. And worry is the enemy of joy, right? Because if we're worried, are we in this moment? Where are we? Right, past, future, not here. It's okay to look at the past and the future, just don't stare. We get a lot of encouragement for staring at the past and the future from our culture. We'll have some fun with this afternoon in our comedy concert. All the ways our culture tries to usurp or drain our power, our personal power. If you step back and reframe it with humor, it's really powerful. It's really empowering. So, yeah, we get a lot of encouragement to stare at the past and the future instead of being here. I heard Mel Brooks talking about this on TV. He said, Socrates told us it's good to know thyself. He said, but I've learned it's way better to now thyself. Now thyself. He said, we need more people living in the now, living every day like this is our last day. Which is why I never have any clean clothes, because who wants to do laundry on the last day? Silliness, play, laughter, humor. These are all excellent ways to come back to the now. Stop staring at the past and the future. Come back to the present and open that gift. We all knew this when we were 4 years old. Every 4-year-old knows this. Jesus said the kingdom of heaven is where? Within. And to enter the kingdom of heaven, you must be like a child. Yeah, so simple. So simple, but we forget. We forget. We got a lot of important grown-up stuff to do. We're busy. We're multitasking. Here in the good old U.S. of stress, or as my friend Bowen White likes to call it, the excited states of America. And I think we're this way for a reason. This is my theory. You don't have to buy this. But our country was colonized to a great extent by the Puritans. Remember them? They were so serious, the English kicked them out. I mean, really, H.L. Mencken said a long time ago, he said a Puritan is a person who's worried that somehow, somewhere, somebody might be having a good time. So we all have that Puritan DNA in our cultural makeup because we live here. The good side of it is that we work hard. We know how to work hard. We know how to be productive. We still pretty much run the world economically. But it's that lightening up that a lot of us have trouble with. And doubly so if you grow up serious like I did. If you grow up a serious person, it's okay to practice. It's okay to just start. Give yourself permission to have a little more fun every day. And there are lots of ways to do this. But people ask me all the time, okay, Greg, I'm busy, I'm serious. How do I do this? How can I start? What's an easy way? And I say, well, one easy way is this long-standing comedic technique, time-honored technique of not giving a serious answer to any question that doesn't require it. And once you start playing with this, you realize almost no question requires a serious answer the first time. You can have fun way more often than you think. People will say, okay, well, how do I get started doing that? I'll say, well, what's the question you get asked the most all day long? How you doing? And what do we normally say? Fine. Okay. Sometimes we go out on a limb and say great or fantastic. Well, what if instead of that somebody says, how you doing? You look at him and you say, well, I'm still getting away with it. How you doing? Parts of me are excellent. How you doing? My lawyer said not to answer that. How you doing? You first. I need a baseline. How you doing? My tattoos are spreading. I mean, you can see. This goes on forever. We could do this the rest of the morning. There's a lot of things you can say. And if you want some ideas, you can go to gregtamblyn.com and look under the blog, and you'll see the article called How You Doing with a couple of dozen good answers that you can start with. And what I recommend is you find 2 or 3 that you like, put them in the back pocket up here of your head, and just bring them out and try them. See what works for you with strangers, with people you know. Just try it. See what happens. And, if you don't like those, then try some other ones. But you're giving yourself permission to have fun. Let me give you an example of how this can work. I was flying home to Kansas City, where I live, and I was in Florida, and I got on Southwest. And when you board Southwest Airlines, you board in the galley. There's always a door into the galley. There's a flight attendant there to make sure you go this way to the seats and not this way to the cockpit. They don't want you in there. So I come on board with my bag, and she smiles at me. She says, welcome aboard. How you doing? I said, well, I'm hungry. Steak and lobster for lunch? And she started laughing, thought that was pretty funny. And she said, sure. How do you like your steak? I said, rare. And she said, well, that's good, because any steak on this airline would be extremely rare. And I said, well done. Well, I don't know what this did for her, but it changed my whole day. It took me up a notch for the whole rest of the day. And every time she came down the aisle, we'd look at each other and smile or laugh or something. So we had this little connection that we created out of nothing that really made a nice difference for me and probably for her. So that's kind of a home run. It's not always going to be a home run. Sometimes it's going to be a dud, but it's okay. You're doing it for you. You're giving yourself a chance to be playful and different and have some fun. And you never know when you're going to make somebody's day. Somebody's going to look at you and say something equally weird. Okay, silliness, play, humor, laughter. There's a lot of things we could talk about here, but I think you kind of get the point. And they are all great ways to bring us back to this moment and the joy of just being here, not worrying about the past or future. There are other ways, right? You come to this church, you know about prayer and meditation. You know about powerful feelings of gratitude, service, love and connection. Feelings of awe and wonder, powerful feelings of awe and wonder tend to bring us into this moment, make time disappear. So I want to just spend a couple of minutes talking about the sacred. And what I'm referring to here is this mystical connotation of the word sacred. When I got down in that low point, which I didn't really tell you how bad it was, but it was bad. It was really, really hard for a long time. And I was desperate. There was a lot of despair. There was a lot of fear, terror. And one of the things that I did was I went back to reading mystics, because I'd gotten away from that. And I rediscovered these descriptions of the mystical experience of merging with God that are amazing, astonishing. You can go across the traditions, you can go down through the centuries, and the vocabulary, the language is amazingly similar. right? We all know this. Words like rapture, nirvana, ecstasy, joy, bliss beyond description, cosmic consciousness, unity consciousness, these kinds of terms. And the mystics that have reached this state and fallen out of it, all they care about is getting back there. That's all they want. Well, it helped me a lot because I felt like if it was possible for human beings to live at that level, then surely I could get up out of this hole, this black hole, and just feel normal again. It had to be possible. So it really kept me going. So what I'd like to do is just create a little of experience, singing, chanting, prayer, meditation for about 5 minutes, where we can go down that road a little bit in that direction. So would that be okay? Would you be up for that? So we're going to use this great little song that I get, the chant actually. I get credit for it because I recorded it, but it's not mine. It's Michael Stillwater's song, and you need to make sure that he's the guy you think of, because it's just a beautiful little 2-part chant. Very simple. There's a low part, typically the male part, a high part, typically the female part, but you can sing whatever part you want. And I'm going to teach it to you very quickly, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to use it. So the low part is 4 lines, but they're almost identical. And I want you to learn them and sing them, not read them. That's why it's not up there. I want you to feel them from your heart. I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. You're nodding like you know this. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. Right? Mother, love, Father, God. For those of you that don't know it, Mother, love, Father, God. And let's practice it once or twice and teach everybody that doesn't know it how it goes. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. Okay, let's do it a little louder. Come on. I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. Okay, great, that's it. Mother, love, Father, God. The high part, which I'm sure many of you know also, is very simple. It's Ave Maria, and then a Greek phrase, Kyrie eleison, right? Kyrie eleison. That means, Lord, have mercy in Greek. Now, if you can't remember that, just sing carry a laser with an accent, and you're close enough, okay? If you know it, help me teach it. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Oh, this is going to be awesome. Okay, so we're going to start with the low part and get that rolling. Just do it once. Then I'm going to lead that. Then we'll bring in the Aves, which Holly will lead. And we'll do them both together at the same time. You can choose whatever part you want to sing. And we'll do this just a few times. Get quiet with it. Go into meditation. I have a really nice prayer I'm going to share with you. And then we'll come back with our chant and see what happens. So I invite you to be comfortable, relax in your chair, let everything else go. See if this experience doesn't keep you right here in the present. Just feel how it works, okay? So, low part, I am one with the heart of the mother, love, Father, God. All those are singing low. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of again, low part. I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. Okay, keep it going, low part. Ave. Again, I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. Good, same thing. I am one with the heart of the mother. Softer. I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with love. Very softly. Just silently. Let all things be healthy. Let all things be peaceful. Be sure to count your blessings at least once a day. Forgive those who have hurt you and those who have offended you. But forgive yourself for what you have done and for that which you have failed to do. That which is done, there is no need to speak of. That which is past, there is no need to blame. Have self-control, self-knowledge, self-respect, and the courage to dare. Be tranquil. The light of intelligence will shine. And strive to make a spot where you stand beautiful. Then the beauty and harmony will follow you in all your ways and in all your days on this journey we call life. Now let's get ready to hum our parts together. Together. Sing softly. I I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. A little louder. I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. One with God. Okay, full voice now. I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. Again. I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. One more time, full voice. I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. Oh, that was awesome. Just breathe that in for a minute. Just soak it into all your cells. Feel that peace and that love and that connection that we've just made. There's some science from Germany that shows that when we sing together like that for a few minutes, we actually align our brain waves in a way that's kind of cool and kind of significant, and they stay aligned for a few minutes. We stay in sync with each other. And I feel like maybe this would be the place to pause and share our tithes and love offerings, and while we're kind of in alignment and in this place of spirit. I hope you felt that. I hope it filled you up with a sense of peace and being here together. So I'm just I was gonna do one more song, but I don't think we have time, so I'll save it for the concert. But thanks for the gift of your attention. I really, really appreciate it. I love being with you. And so whoever is next, John, is that you? Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, wow. As our ushers come forward for our time of thanks, I invite you to join me as we hold our gifts to this community in our hands and love in our hearts. Let's affirm together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. As the love offering is collected, let's join Holly in singing, I am as God created me.
I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory. I am. In the light, in the love, in the glory. In the light, in the love, in the glory.
here's our prayer of thanks. Please listen. We are grateful and we bless the flow of good that supports our unity community. We bless the givers who give their time, talent, and treasure. We stand in the knowing that the flow of good goes forth only to return again and again, and so it is. Amen. And now for opportunities. A special welcome to our guests today. Thank you for joining us. If you would like more information about the Unity Movement and Unity of Lawrence, please pick up a welcome packet in the foyer. Sunday Lunch Bunch is meeting at SOA Buffet, 821 Iowa Street. It's close by, so everyone can get back in time for the concert this afternoon. Remember, Open Meditation with Phil Roger meets on Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. This is a change. This is a change. Come and hang out with your Unity community on the first Wednesday of the month from 4:30 to 6 p.m. in the Fellowship Hall. All ages are welcome. See Sarah or Bethany if you have any questions. It's time to come together and laugh again. Plan on coming to the humor concert with Greg Tamblyn this afternoon at 1:30 p.m. Tickets are $15 to $20, sliding scale, and will be available at the door. The next Italian class will meet this afternoon at 4 p.m., and Francesca will have a special guest. Please see the flyer in the foyer for more information. This spring, we'll be starting a Youth of Unity chapter here at UOL. The Youth of Unity, YOU, is an international youth group for teens ages 14 to 18 that encourages and assists their spiritual growth, creating connections, and helping them express their most authentic selves. We anticipate starting up our YOU chapter in mid to late March. If you have a teen that is age 14 to 18 and would like more information about YOU, please contact Jay Pryor at j.pryor@gmail.com. Please welcome Sabrina to make a special announcement. No? Nope. Okay. I'll just read it. 3D Breathwork journeys continue tomorrow, March 4th at 6 p.m. with Sabrina Channel from Channels of Healing. Sabrina will be guiding breathwork journeys on the first and third Mondays of the month in the Fellowship Hall. Each class is $50. Space is limited, so please call or text 785-393-6400 to reserve your space or if you have any questions. We have filled all the needs for the food and hospitality to 2 families at Family Promise. A big thank you to everyone who stepped in and signed up. The sign-up sheets are still in the foyer if you need to double-check them. Join us next Sunday when Reverend Jen Hutchins will bring us the message, Prayer Song, special music with Joy Zimmerman. It is also our monthly potluck. Start thinking about what you want to bring. And now it is time to rise as you're able and sing the peace song.
Let's there be peace on earth, a peace that was
as we lower our hands, let's join together and sing the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. And wherever we are, God is, and all is well.